Hi, my name is Isabel Brasola, and the researcher I will be discussing is Darlene E. Crone-Todd, and that is her in that picture right there. She is a professor at Salem University in Western Virginia. Previously, she worked at Johns Hopkins University for the postdoctorate program in the Behavior Biology Department and the Department of Psychiatry and Behavior Sciences. Like I said, she is a professor at Salem University. She is also the coordinator for the Behavior Analysis graduate program. She has published 28 items of research, and the 4 journals that have published her that I used for my research project include Behavior Development Bulletin, Behavior Analyst Today, Substance Use and Misuse in Computers and Education. According to ResearchGate.net, she's also been cited 275 times by other researchers in other research and in other publishings. Some findings or some articles that she has published include Assessment of Thinking in Adult Learners, Computer-Based Typing and Keypad Skills Training Outcomes of Unemployed Injection Drug Users in a Therapeutic Workplace, and a Social Constructivist Approach to Computer-Mediated Instruction. So for the assessment of thinking in adult learners, she sought to assess how adults learned complex concepts using a hierarchy. She used behavioral questions that were taken from a previous study done by Martin and Pear in 2003, which indicated that these questions were reliably recorded, and these questions had previously also used computer-aided personalized systems of instructions, which she did too. But for her results, she did find that there was a variation in complexity, despite having used questions that were previously used in a previous study. But one thing that was also alluded towards was that that the baseline of knowledge and like understanding of complex concepts were not factored into the participants that she had. What I noted here was researchers also found that teachers should consider their current skill level of students when determining a hierarchy for teaching complex concepts. So it's not about using it is about using reliable questions and a reliable strategy, but also understanding the learners that are being taught these things and not just generalizing one set of questions to every other participant group, because all participants are different. Another article that she published and she collaborated on, one that I actually found very interesting, was the Computer-Based Typing and Keypad Skills Training Outcomes of Unemployed Injection Drug Users in a Therapeutic Workplace. This surrounded participants who were past drug users, past users who used injection-based drugs. And what was found were that participants were able to reliably acquire and perform the computerized typing and keypad training at an average of 30 weeks for both skills, so for the computer-based typing and the keypad skills, which are significant results when teaching those who have a history of unemployment or drug abuse. What I took from this finding or from this research was that taking the time to teach somebody a skill in depth and teach those who have a history of low cognitive functioning, like the drugs may have altered their cognitive functioning, or just I mean, that's the zeitgeist in thinking about drug users, that their cognition is slower, and or that their learning may need more attention. But for 30 weeks, they were able to generalize and maintain the skill, which indicates that taking the time out to teach somebody a skill that is important, that can benefit their life from there on, that can benefit their life in a workplace situation or what be it, is worth doing. And the last, or at least the last finding that I will talk about, is the social constructivist approach to computer-mediated instruction. And the purpose of this study was to understand social construct of learning. It also sought to understand if learners would process information more accurately when using a computer-aided personalized system of instruction, which was abbreviated and coined throughout Crone-Todd's research. Results of this, though, of the study found no significant difference from those who received in-person verbal instructions to those who got instructions via via computers or computer-aided personalized systems. Which brings me to a question that I had. We had to come up with 5 different questions, and the one that stood out to me the most, and the question that I came up with that stood out to me the most, and the question that I found the most benefited from to ask was, have you found, Darlene Crone-Todd, that there to be a more significant difference with computer-aided instruction over instruction that is given on a one-to-one basis? Is there any correlation, or do you speculate any correlation between computer-aided instruction and one-to-one instruction? Such as, are there any similarities between a computer being an individualized opportunity for learning that is similar to getting one-to-one time with an instructor? The mindset for this question was in that thinking there. The technology is booming, that technology is rapidly evolving and changing, and one-to-one instruction is becoming different as well. Just like with this class, just like with this program that I'm in, is done remotely, especially since I'm based out in California. And the George Mason University is based out in Virginia. So I wanted to ask, in her findings, she's, studied teaching strategies and learning behavior, and especially in the realm and involving computerized instruction or computer-aided personalized systems, if there is any true significance to one-to-one learning versus computer-aided instructions. In one finding, it did outline that there are significant results that technology is a viable resource to use when providing instructions to students, especially if a one-to-one learning environment is not available. It's paraphrased from a research study of hers. That is the article that she published, that states that, or consensus that, or finds that, or surmises that, whatever it may be, is the effect of changing grading criteria on student writing. She published in 2007. And although I do understand, and I read through that result of hers that technology is a viable resource to use, I obviously still had that question of, is it important? Is it important to have one-to-one connection, or, is learning through technology just where we're headed towards, what some like a, a an avenue that should not be dismissed, or is there some sort of like middle ground to be found? And I also, this viable resource, or technology being a viable resource, is important to the field of ABA and important to the field of learning, period. And that is what she came up with. So thank you for listening, and I look forward to the feedback for this video. Sorry it was rough.